Hello there, it's me RJB, and I've got another video for you today here in store, live coming from my living room, beaming straight into your living room through your computer, through the interwebs on the whole wide world. And today we've got a replay between TopToon, so you're playing on the middle top spot, the orange Protoss. He's up against LovelyRabbit under the name Yang Shigi Sun Yun. And he's playing Terran on the bottom spot, right down the opposite spot of TopToon. So a little bit of background information. I have no background information. Surprise. So TopToon is a player known as TopToon, I assume. I have no idea who this guy is. I do know that he used to play together with a lot of the top streamers for a while, and he managed to hold his own in games like 3 vs 5 games that they used to play with the top level Korean fastest streamers. And he also played a pretty long series, about 11 or 12 matches against LovelyRabbit. And they both seem to be on about equal footing, which honestly surprised me because, once again, I have no idea who TopToon is, but he is really good. He's a really good player. Not sure if he'll get to show it off this game. Would be sad if he didn't get to show it off because, as I mentioned earlier, they played about 12 games. Some of them are short, some of them are really long, over 30 to 50 minutes long. So I cannot cast all of them because that would simply take up like 4, maybe 5 hours, at least 4 hours to cast all of those videos, all of those replays. And that's definitely way too much time to invest into a single series between two players. They do play a wide variety of races though in that series, so I might pick another one depending on how long this one goes, because I picked one at random. If this one is over 20 minutes, I'm going to do just this single one, because I still have some stuff to do in real life after this. Right, so both players have found each other, and TopToon went for one of my favorite classic builds, which is a Pylon, Nexus, Forge, Pylon, Gateway, Cannon, Double Gas, and then a Cybernetics core, which he has right there, meaning he's going for a robotic facility, or a Temple's Archive, or both. Anyway, he's going for drops that I'm sure of. LovelyRabbit is just taking it slow. He's discontinued marine production because he sees with the SCV that TopToon has no fighting ability, and because TopToon has no fighting ability, there's no need for Toki to have more marines because the front is cannoned up and he cannot immediately or within the immediate future attack through that cannon. So he goes for discontinued marine production, throws up 2 command centers, 2 gas. That's actually a lot of gas he's throwing up there. And yeah, there comes the academy, still no marines in production, starts a wall there in the front with a depot, and marine production will soon resume once he feels he needs it. As long as this SCV here, gathering information, does not necessitate or give him information that he really needs those marines back in production. Marines are back in production, robotic facilities up for, it's being warped in for TopToon. At the same time, a Citadel of Fadoon is also being warped in. Rabbit, of course, has this information. Robotic facility number 2, which already gives us our first clue as to what his TopToon is going to do. And man, it might actually be a really strong hit, depending on whether LovelyRabbit discontinued marine production for too long or not. Academy finishes. Factory's on the way. He's got loads of gas already on the income. No steam upgrade on the way. No medics on the way yet. Just getting his economy up and running with that triple Nexus. There is the first scan, because just in case that this SCV dies, he needs that scan to get himself information on when those shuttles are spawning and what is going to be put in those shuttles, because that is a very important detail. So support bay finishes there as well. He added on, it's a total of 5 gateways, so that means we're getting, I want to say Zealot lags, but I don't see Zealot lags on the way yet. He does have Double Reaver on the way, has shuttle speed on the way there as well. Temple's Archive is finished up. He's now making even more pylons because he needs that supply space. And he's at skeleton for his gateways. So only 2 cannons there in the front. That is very, very risky. And it looks like it might actually backfire quite hard on him. Unless the Dark Templar finishes on time. But Toki does have 2 scans already finished up. And he hasn't used the scans yet. He's got Marines there on the way as well. He's just finishing up Stim upgrade right here, right now. He's got about 12, exactly 12 Marines here up in the front. But he waited a little bit too long because that gateway is now there up on the front. He's going to have to go through the gateway first. Reavers there behind the gateway and cannons also have finished up and are now moving out. Same for the Dark Templar. It's about to go. And no, it's not. Yes, it's going. It's on its way to clear out those units on the middle. It's a little bit too late. Toki's already pulling back. He scans the front there, sees that there's nothing there in the front. The Dark Templar is here chasing, kills a single Marine. There's no turret there in the front. It's actually going to hurt him quite a bit unless he has scan energy. Got 150 scan energy. There comes the scan, takes out the Dark Templar. But the Reaver with the shuttles already coming in from the side here. And Toki has no units there in the back, but he does have a shuttle turret there on the way. But this might already be a game-ending drop unless Toki responds correctly. And actually, he hits the wrong side. Kills a couple of SCVs there on the gas. Turret now comes in, starts firing on the shuttle. He's forced to unload the shuttle, but the Reavers do get a couple of kills, but he doesn't get a shot off on those SCVs. Actually, stacks the SCVs up, and the shot kills 7 of them. And another... Wait, no. Ooh, nothing. Alright, so we killed about... I think he killed about 11 or 12. Not the pickup he could have had, but definitely a worthwhile pickup. Definitely worthwhile because that does slow Toki down quite significantly. Plus he had some downtime on his mining. He lost a couple of Marines there as well. And his base isn't as big as it could have been if that had not happened. Because that's at least 1,000 minerals. Maybe even 1,200 minerals that he's lost there in total if you include the lost mining time. So another drop already on the way. This time it's a Templar and a Zealot. It's going to come in from the exact same path that he used earlier. He did scan the front here, so he does know this little portion here, this little portion there as well. He's got a Dark Archon there on the way as well. He has Mind Control not on the way, so no Mind Control yet. I hope he doesn't go for Mind Control whatsoever. He's filling out his base with a lot of gateways there. I really like this game plan from TopToon. TopToon is setting himself up for success. Sends out another shuttle to the other side of the map. Tank drop is moving out for Toki. He didn't make any raids as anti-drop. He didn't really make any new Marines either as anti-drop, so this is going to be cutting it really, really close because those Templars hidden here can take care of all those Marines if Toki makes a single mistake. Same for the Templar in that shuttle. It's going to go in from both sides at the same time, so Toki's going to be forced to juggle his attention. Which one he's going to send in first, I'm not sure, because right now he's focusing on the tank drop, trying to defend that one. Scan came out, but the scan has already expired. And he sees that there's no room to drop here because TopToon saw or had a feeling it was coming, so he set himself up for a good defense with making a lot of cannons there around his nexus. Just making sure he cannot get hit by the counter drop and give Rabbit a way back into an easy win. In he goes, doesn't unload. That's very unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. Didn't get to unload his Templars, didn't get to kill any of those Marines there on the low ground. Probe moving into the middle of the map, starts up a pylon. It's gonna cannon up the middle there. And drop number 2 hasn't really picked up the pace. He slowed it down by quite a bit. I assume he's really going for mind control there by hiding the Dark Templar there in the corner. Making sure Toki cannot see it. This drop still here on the bottom side. He has not done anything for quite a while. In there, another tank. An empty dropship moves out over the middle of the map. He's getting information there. He landed 2 tanks up here on the hill. Just to make it harder for TopToon to use a frontal attack as a means of getting into Toki's base. Toki's also fortifying his front at the same time. Got more factories now on the way. A lot of Marines on the way as well. Does he have upgrades? Level 1 weapon upgrade. I see an armory there. Level 1 weapon upgrade for tanks on the way as well. And mostly just comfortably mining from that 3 command center economy that he's got himself running. TopToon seems to be satisfied with his probe count. Still loading up that shuttle drop. He's really taking an extremely long time. Usually you'll be seeing the first 4 drops within the 4 minutes, from 6 minute 30 up until minute 11 or 10, you'll see usually 4 drops. But it looks like TopToon is planning on immediately going for a huge, massive drop here, trying to clear out whatever Toki has there in the back. And he'll knows there on the top side. He's just going to kill units, it seems. He's not really going for the minerals. He's just going to kill whatever comes close to the Zealots, be it Marines, tanks, whatever you can think of. Well, I think he's setting up for this drop to fly in from the other side while all units are being distracted. He storms on top of the tanks, takes out the tanks, starts taking out depots and armories there on the side as well. Toki is in a really bad spot because he knows that if he moves too many units in a small cluster into those Templars, they're going to get stormed to death. He's already pulled off most of his SCVs just to unclog them, make it hard for them to all die to a single storm. He managed to snipe all the Templars there. Great target selection from Toki. And maybe a little bit sloppy play from TopToon. Units being balled up there on the middle. He did not get tank drop because there's honestly no way he can get tank drop. Maybe even a little tiny spot there in the top corner. If he drops there, these 2 cannons can hit tanks, and the tanks might be able to get a shot off, but I think that the probes would then already be pulled up over here, so not really going to work for him. And again, the drop from this side came in. He pulled his SCVs off successfully. The drop did not kill anything, still on 71 SCVs, but he does have them all unstacked. Has to put them back on the minerals. He's not having that great of a time. He's not having that great of a time. He really is not. Oh, why isn't he putting them back on? I'm not sure. And there he goes, finally puts them back on the minerals. He was focused on something else. What? I'm not too sure. TopToon's APM has really dropped quite low, but it goes to show that you don't really need high APM in order to be all that effective. And just as he loads up, Toki happens to scan the front, so he knows the drop is coming. This time there's a lot of Reavers there in the mix. And those Reavers, I think, if he drops them in the exact same spot here, he might deal a lot of damage. If he goes here, he will deal a lot of damage, but there's 4 bunkers there that will take down all those units quite quickly. Tanks are spaced out really nicely as well. I really like this setup for drop defense. But the front is being attacked. Tanks are up on the highway and making it really difficult to get in there. Tanks behind enemy lines, behind the line there as well. And he unloads just outside of the tank range. The Reavers, a lot of Reavers. The Valkyries are trying to scare the shuttles away, but the shuttles are already flying back to base because he queued them up in his shift command to send them back, clearing out depots. Toki is supply stuck like hell, but losing a lot of units, so he's getting some supply space there as well at the same time. His tanks have been moved to the back, trying to take out those Reavers, but the Reavers are going to take out the armory. He's going to take out... The Firebat is not a hero today. He's going to take out that turret there on the bottom as well. No, never mind, turret there stays alive. I find it hilarious that the SCV is stuck here inside that little corner. It's just stuck there. Look at it, it's stuck. Poor SCV. I've never seen it happen before, where a probe gets stuck on the exact spot. He even kills it. A merciful killing. So yeah, Toki keeps his economy up and running. His supply, though, he's incapable of producing anything whatsoever. And the carriers for TopToon are already on the way. They are a little bit late. Usually on this strategy you would see them out at about 1340, but he's gonna be out at about 14 minutes, maybe 14:10. He's a little bit late on that, but he's managed to keep Toki on his toes so far. Managed to slow him down a fair bit as well. He's even forced to pull off a lot of SCVs to get his supply depots back, because he just scanned the Stargates that are producing something, and the only thing they can be producing are carriers. So he has to set himself up for an anti-carrier defense really quick, or he's going to lose the game. But TopToon is not planning on letting Toki do exactly that, because he drops more Reavers there, starts killing the depots once again. Toki is once again stuck in supply hell, where he cannot produce anything whatsoever, because the cap is on 122, and he's lost all of it once again. He lost the armory as well, so no Goliaths, although he did queue up some Goliaths. No queued up Goliaths there, sadly. All he's got as a defense against those carriers are these very... taking some damage on the Wraith as well. All the Wraiths and some Valkyries. He doesn't have much to defend against carriers. Carriers have finished up. This is going to be absolutely brutal. Though never mind, he still has 2 armors there on the top side, so he can produce Goliaths after all. He's got the gas and the minerals for it as well. Just no supply depots. And the carriers have just finished producing all. They have not finished. They do have good carrier interceptor capacity upgrade though. So that's great for TopToon. Just the supply depots are gonna have to finish up real quick. He's making a lot of armories. Did he forget he has those two there on the top side? He didn't make depots. That's a huge error there on the Rabbit's part. Because TopToon is now pushing it over through the front. He's got a drop flying in as well. Five Reavers and a Zealot. 5 Reavers and a Zealot coming in from the right side of the map. While the carriers are distracting and being a pain in the ass for Toki here. The carriers are a little bit slow because there's only 9 of them. But more importantly, he's got Corsairs there as well, which are amazing against raids. The raids will melt like butter in a hot frying pan. Now the shuttle drop comes in. He unloads there on the low ground. He's going for the armories and the supply depots once again. I have not seen Rabbit not supply stuck for the last 6 minutes. He's been supply stuck for 6 minutes. That's absolutely excruciatingly painful, although now he is unclogged on the supply chain. But he did lose almost all of his armories. There's still one of them up. He forgot an observer. And the fact that he forgot his observer might actually be the saving grace. Actually, no, correct me. It is the saving grace. And he's trying to attack his own carrier with the Corsairs to make the splash damage to kill the Wraith. But the Wraith stays alive with 5 HP and is going to deal a lot more damage. I assume he does have his observer on the way. I don't see an observer. No observer on the way yet. That's a huge error on TopToon's part because he could have ended the game there if he had that damned observer in the mix. But he's been forced to recede, forced to pull back because those raids are just hammering away on those carriers and there's still no observer anywhere to be seen. TopToon, however, does have 3 Arbiters on the way and another carrier there in the mix as well. And another drop with more Reavers has been loaded up. I think it's about 5 Reavers once again. Maybe 6, 7. 7 Reavers. That's going to be absolutely disgusting. That's going to be disgusting. He flies in. Corsairs are taking care of the raids. Reavers being dropped on the low ground outside of the tank range, ready to take care of all those depots there on the low ground, but now they're moving into the tank range. Carriers are just very slowly taking care of everything that's trying to attack. Still no observers, so the raids are having a field day. Even the Corsairs themselves are completely useless. The Reavers, though, have once again put Rabbit back into a supply-stuck state. The Reavers under those carriers are so devastatingly quick at taking down buildings, whereas the carriers are just there to focus down the tanks to keep those Reavers there on the ground alive. He does have a lot of Goliaths that he had queued up, spawning, but he's no longer supply stuck, but he's no longer supply stuck because he's losing units so damn quickly and not because he has the supply space to actually make anything. He now decides to build depots here on the other side of the map, far away from the location where TopToon has continuously been dropping his units on the low ground. Finally, the carriers do go down. Mostly because the raids went undetected for so long. That one did not go undetected, was not cloaked. Still a single Goliath there. He never lost any of his workers though, so that's really good for Toki. He still has all of his workers and has the ability to start rebounding. But whether TopToon is going to let him, that's a completely different question. Because once again, he's got 7 Reavers there on the low ground. Shuttles ready as well. He started cleaning up everything here on the bottom. He's got more carriers queued up. I honestly think it might just be smart to just switch over to Zealots, because Zealots just finish way quicker. And all these carriers are just at the start of their production phases of being warped in. It's going to take a while to start being effective. But on the other side, though, he does have those Reavers, and he knows that Toki has been building supply depots on the other side of his base. He also knows where Toki's factories are located, so he just drops there next to the depots, next to the armories, next to the factories, and the factories are going down so damn quick because of that Scarab damage upgrade. And Toki doesn't have much he can do aside from moving his tanks closer, but he already lost 8 factories, almost 9. losing tanks and armories and supply depots as well. And once again, he's almost back at square one. Although, look at the chunks that have been eaten out of his base. Reaver's still alive there. Has to unsiege, move a little bit closer, siege up again. Maybe we can just roll in and kill it unsieged. But look at this, observers are now out, so that means that the carriers are safe from raids. But it doesn't look like Rabbit will have raids anytime soon. Doesn't look like he'll have a full base anytime soon. And Rabbit, knowing that TopToon won't really have any ground forces, decides to move his tanks out into the middle. And once again, another wave of Reavers is on the way. Carriers are finishing up. Toki's now trying to rebuild his base in rapid fire tempo, but does he have enough APM to do all of the necessary tasks? Getting all the SCVs in location, getting all that production back up and running, getting all the production facilities back up, getting the starports back up into his base, getting the turrets, getting everything he needs? I doubt he does. He doesn't even really have the upgrades. He's on 1-1 upgrades, his armies have continuously been dying. Whereas it looks like TopToon is on 3-2-2. The upgrade difference is just way too fast. Rabbit knows it. Rabbit knows that he's pretty much a completely decimated Rabbit at the moment. There's not much Rabbit left. TopToon just ate it all up for dinner. He enjoyed it. He just made it look really methodical. Not the fastest player I've seen, but the method was solid. It was a really solid game plan. That a player like Rabbit, who usually wins matchups, even against really good players like 458, he has really good Terran versus Protoss. Even against players like Humberg Asasu, he displays a really good Terran versus Protoss. But TopToon, a player who I have not yet been able to identify or find out who it is, manages to disarm and destroy LovelyRabbit quite convincingly. So I hope you enjoyed this match. It was quite nice to watch. This is actually one of the better Protosses I've seen. Even though it was slow, which I've already mentioned, it was really effective.